Big Ten lid opener. And J.T. Spillman is back deep. He is a burner, but he will let this one go through for a touchback, and the Huskers will take over. Nebraska won the toss. Greg Bell is in the backfield. And it's Bell ahead to the 29, just shy of the 30-yard line. Chase Winovich, who is the leader of the pack, that outstanding defensive end and roommate of Shea Patterson, made the tackle.
He's so active on that outside, Tim. You got to watch him. He's going to move him to the opposite side this time. We'll have a track on him.
And you see they're playing quickly. Option towards the boundary. Bell is in trouble. And taken down. It's a loss, Rashawn Gary. So you've seen those bookend defensive ends. Don Brown, the defensive coordinator, told us the best bookends he's had since he's been a defensive coordinator here.
That's right, and that speed and quickness is not limited to the guys on the back end. Once on the first two plays, Winovich, Gary Rashawn, all of those guys are active in this front. You can't even get to the backside for their speed.
Loss of 3, so 3rd down and 9 after the sack by Gary. Bell now comes in to help off the play fake. Martinez in trouble. Has to unload. Thrown behind his receiver, but the adjustment by Stanley Morgan. Morgan will drag Wolverines inside the 45. 1st and 10, Nebraska.
Nice. Oh, he
tipped into the air. Could it be? Yes, it is. Picked off. It's Josh Martellus. Martellus had the pick 6 a week ago to put the game away, really, late in the first half against SMU. Ron Higdon is back after the ailment cost him play last week in the matchup with SMU.
Plenty of time.
Higdon ahead to the 40, wrapped up at the 43-yard line. Higdon remains the setback. Karan.
Wow.
A quick burst. And a big play. Ushered out of bounds, shy of the 10. 47 yards. Eric Shenander, known as Coach Chins, the defensive coordinator for Nebraska, has seen them play well, particularly in rushing the passer, but they have been gouged in the run game from time to time. And you know, this is what Michigan wants to do. Feed and fan Higdon. And if not him, the youngster True Wilson, the former walk-on. Evans is banged up. He's got a thigh problem, and he played the lion's share of carries last week. Muhammad Berry, number 7, making the tackle there after a gain of 3. Now Ben Mason, who's an H-back, tight end, fullback commodity. The lone setback as they go power. Mason.
Wow, look him push that back.
Well, he can get a first down without the touchdown, remember. They were just outside the 10-yard line. Young hauls him down. Mason had a touchdown carry last week against SMU. 3rd and 2 from the 3. McCune is in motion, one of the tight ends. And again, power left side. Mason. No signal. He's shy, but he should have the first down. You see the number in the red zone. That's very good for this Michigan team. Touchdown percentage also quite high, above 60%. Out of the eye. Higdon dots it. Mason up front and in. Power touchdown Wolverines. Nordine, 6 of 6. A freshman from Northville, Michigan. And again, Spielman takes the fair catch. Well, the takeaway for Nebraska, even after the turnover, which leads to a quick touchdown, must be, hey, we made a big play, and then we let one get away with the tip drill. We'll see what happens here. Greg Bell wrapped up again at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 9, Martinez.
Nice. Got to get a hit around.
He didn't. Greg Bell was a little bit late to turn on that one. Ooh. Pressure off the edge, and down goes Martinez. And it's the Viper for this half. Jordan Glasgow, the senior from Aurora, Illinois. Caleb Lightbourne will punt it away. Well, that's the 8th Michigan sack of the year. Fair catch called for, and another mistake made by Nebraska. Wow. Well, that will give even better field position to the Wolverines as Jason Woodyard in the special teams, one of the wide receivers that you may see, ran right into him after a 47-yard punt.
Kick catch interference. Number 17 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Look at him go. All the way. It is touchdown. Spielman is back deep off of the leg of Moody, and he'll take the knee and the touchback. To say a must drive, but given the psyche of this game and for Martinez, live bullets in the Big Ten for the first time, they need success right here. And there's Stanley Morgan, who had the big catch in the opening drive. This is where Martinez is at his best when he throws on the run.
They're lining up quick, trying to go tempo.
3rd and 3, Martinez in trouble. Well, he rolled right into Rashawn Gary. Michigan lost in their opener against Notre Dame. They've improved since. And some pressure there on the punter, Lightbourne. They'll let this one bound inside the 40. Gets a Nebraska roll to the Michigan 1st and 10 with a 2-touchdown lead from the 35. This is a high percentage play, is it not? Going to Sean McCune, the tight end. You'll see a lot of him and Zach Gentry, who had 5 catches from Shea Patterson last week. Higdon on the stretch play, in trouble this time. They wrap him up. Here's Amari Samuels, number 23 in the game for the first time. He's ahead to the 47, well defensed by Mohamed Berry, number 7, who's adapted to a leadership role, says Eric Shenander. Coach Chins. Bingo!
Not away.
There's your man, Zach Gentry, right on cue. A first down, Michigan, as Bob Efer used to say here. Came over with Frost and his staff. As you see, Karan Higdon stopped in his tracks by Berry again. They have lost a yard on that play, so it's 2nd down and 11 coming up. Higdon the setback. Right up the gut. Karan gets it to the 30-yard line and is pushed back. You know, prior to this game, Spencer, Eric Chenander's defense had only given up 94 yards rushing per game on average. So obviously that's been eclipsed by Higdon alone on a couple of runs. There he is, young defensive mind that
he's
knows.
Talented.
Yeah, he's a very talented coach.
Very talented.
This entire staff at Nebraska came with their head coach. And in fact, Scott Frost asked them, are you with me? Because I need you. Otherwise, you know, I'm not going to go.
An unbalanced look again. They've been having success with it all day, Tim.
Yep, True Wilson. And you hear the true coming from the contingent. Mason the setback. Wide open, untouched, touchdown. His 3rd of the year, his 2nd of the day. Well, they're being blown off the line right now. And it's that similar look that you were talking about as you see the extra point hooked. And they've gone to their big fullback, Mason. Spielman will take it with a fair catch at the 10 and move it up. Maurice Washington is in the backfield. And look at that defensive recognition. How about that? Bush making the play. That's just coaching. Maurice Washington coming out. Devin Bush read his key and made the play.
Well, he's going to read it the whole way, Tim. You got pressure coming from here, but this guy right here is the one that's going to come from depth. He drops and comes back, and he sees the pressure, reads it, and reacts. Drives his right shoulder up through the ball carrier. That's fundamental football played at its finest.
Don Brown's defenses are traditionally top 5. And they're getting better in terms of stopping big plays this year. Martinez in a world of hurt again. Has to let it fly off his back foot. Very fortunate not being sacked inside the 5 by Winovich and Glasgow. Martinez. Here he is with his feet. And he's got outstanding legs that can get to the chains and move it ahead for a first down. First down from the 36. That's the 2nd first down for Nebraska. The other on the pass to Spielman in that opening drive for 32 yards. Aiden Hutchison, 97, with the tackle of Maurice Washington. Washington in motion. Now sets up in the backfield. Martinez with the option into the boundary to him. Well, the defense is so quick. Hard to go wide against this group. Martinez with the option into the boundary to him. Well, the defense is so quick. Hard to go wide against this group. 3rd down and 8. Martinez Unloads it high and over the head of J.T. Spielman. Beautiful high spiral this time that Peoples-Jones will let fall, and it does inside the 50. Play fake. Patterson unloads. Incomplete. Good coverage that time of Peoples-Jones by DiCaprio Bootle, number 23, the sophomore from Miami. Jay, the transfer from Ole Miss, a much-traveled young man with a couple of years of eligibility after getting the release from the NCAA when leaving Ole Miss to be immediately eligible to play.
This is about athleticism here. Great job.
That's Grant Perry, 88. From Brother Rice High School, stopped by Antonio Reed.
Yeah, Antonio came down out of that strong safety position. This is why they call them strong safeties. When you finish at the point of attack, you got to deliver some weight. Get those hips down, run through those would-be blockers. Great job on the perimeter blocking. Nice fit them up. A little helmet underneath the chin, but they're not intentional. That's good defense.
3rd down and 10 with Michigan backed up. This is, I know it's early, but a very important play for Nebraska. They need to give their offense some field position, and a stop here could really help them in terms of changing the momentum prior to the end of the first quarter.
Nice blitz.
That ball was thrown low by Patterson, so it's Will Hart set to boot it away, and we've got a flag pre-snap.
Ball start. Offense number 43. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, that'll make it a little bit worse. Back him up further in the end zone. Tyson Lindsey is back deep. Will he take it off the bounce? Oh, boy.
Bad.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
And look
what
at
a mistake.
Amber Thomas. How about that? Touchdown, Michigan. Yeah, remember on a muff, you cannot advance it. But you're right. The point here is to why even do that? Why field it in that position? You're going to have decent field position for the first time.
Yeah, and the outcome is not really what I'm concerned about in this case, was you can't advance it. It's the decision to attempt to.
Yeah.
That tells me your head is not in the game. I mean, you take a snap, look down on a pretty decent punt. You know how much relative time you have to catch that ball on that second bounce. That's just a poor decision.
Jake McCurry, by the way, who was penalized on the prior play, is the guy that affected the fumble, or the muff in that case. And here's Patterson looping it.
Nice defense. Boy, that's good defense.
It really was. Oliver can love company, and they've had plenty of that. And Karan Higdon has helped apply it for the Wolverines. Outstanding run. You know, we touched on Shea Patterson briefly and how mature he is, and Chase Winovich talked to us about it. This is a young man that was born in Toledo, stayed there till he was about 3 or 4 years old. Dad was in football, older brother was in football. They moved to the Mexico border, and he played at Hidalgo in Texas. Then his dad got a job in my hometown in Shreveport, Louisiana, played at Calvary Baptist for a couple of years, his sophomore and junior seasons, and then transferred to the IMG Academy down in Florida, and then to Ole Miss, and now here at Michigan. But much of his family, in fact, when he was a youngster, he used to come to games at Michigan. That pass intended for Gentry. Here's Nordine to try from 50 yards away.
Wow.
Well, he's hit some big ones. Had a 55-yarder last season. Here's the return from Spielman. Ahead to the 12, I'd call it the 17-yard line, 15-yard return. Bell gets away from the first would-be tackler, Devin Bush.
Here's that really dangerous teacup formation that Don and I were talking about. Let's see how they handle it.
Pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
Tyjon Lindsey again with Martellus all over him. Martinez staying strong in the pocket. Now it breaks down, and down he goes. And Nebraska's really been playing behind the 8 ball in field position. The one chance they had was the muff, of course, and Amber Thomas came away with the recovery of that muff. Peoples-Jones has it on the run and is stopped in his tracks immediately. Higdon the setback again. Play fake for Shea. Patterson finds his man Nico Collins.
Wow.
Talk about a receiver improving. It's this kid, sophomore from Birmingham, Alabama, from the 36. Higdon remains the setback, and he'll take it off that left side. Second down and 8.
Two tights.
You'll see that a lot from Michigan.
Yep. Power football right here, man.
Higdon, that time Nebraska stayed home. Dedrick Young, number 5, making the tackle. From the 31, third down and 5. Patterson, quick out and stop for Donovan Peoples-Jones. Wilson. True Wilson, amazing story here. Stopped by Young. This is a youngster that had a dad in the military that wanted to make sure he was equitable to all his kids. Said, I'll take care of your first couple of years. The young man walks on. And then after that occurred, he took on the challenge of walking on, and Coach Harbaugh granted him a scholarship, and it came at just the right time for this young man. And he has been embraced by this Michigan program in more ways than one. Second and 7. Play fake. This is where Patterson's at his best. Overshoots his man that time, Oliver Martin. But when you get Shea Patterson on the run, I think that's where he's most effective. Third down and 7 here. Peoples-Jones at the bottom of your screen. He's looking that way. Nice catch in traffic by Zach Gentry, but wrapped up immediately.
Whoa.
Oh, how about that power? Mason has come back into the game, the lone setback. Twin tight end look again. Well, he has been outstanding, the go-to guy when they've gotten inside the 10-yard line, hasn't he?
Love the way Cesar Ruiz, the center. Off center, very rarely will you see them pull guards or pull centers, but if you're athletic enough and you feel like you can do it, Jim Harbaugh is going to get the most out of his offensive lineman. That's just a brilliantly designed play.
Patterson, wide open, touchdown, Gentry.
That's a nice play.
Neal tried to tackle him and couldn't. Spielman is back deep, and again, the fair catch taken. Martinez under duress again, lets it fly incomplete. Heck of a throw to Tyjon Lindsey, and was catchable. Second and 10. And pre-snap flag, should be a false start.
Delay of game.
Oh, delay of game.
5-yard penalty, still second down.
A little late with that one.
And
10 penalties last week.
Wow.
Blitz again. Martinez in a world of hurt. Winovich takes him down. Third and 27 from the Michigan defense. How much longer can you afford to keep Martinez out there? Caleb Lightbourne will have to punt it away again. Donovan Peoples-Jones back deep. 72 yards now on 8 sacks or tackles for losses in this game. Minus 72 for Nebraska. Peoples-Jones at midfield. He's got incredible speed and athleticism. Knocked out inside the 35 at the 33. He's a brilliant young man, too, in the classroom. From the 34, first down. Higdon. Well, you could take a Mack truck. I mean, a double wide through that hole. 25 yards and another first down for Higdon. 11 carries, 128 now for Karan Higdon. He'll tote it again. Inside the 5 and down to the 1. Double Deuce is getting it done on the ground right now. Second down at the 1. Bounces off one. Gets his way into the end zone. His third touchdown of the day. Maurice Washington brings it back. It's taken out of bounds shy of the 20-yard line, and now they're losing their cool.
Oh, yeah.
No reason for that. That's the kind of Bush League play you just don't see from Scott Frost coach teams.
After the play was over, unnecessary roughness, number 31 on the kicking team. Half the distance from the end of the run. First down.
We have dueling numbers. We have
Correction,
dueling numbers.
receiving team.
That's Miller, 31. Reserve outside linebacker. There's just no reason for that. And you're already down by a bundle, and you're making it look worse when that occurs. And that's the kind of thing that Scott Frost knows he has to clean up. Look at those miscues, the turnover margin. They dug themselves holes in 2 games they very easily might have won. Right away, Martinez deciding to take it himself.
And it was a quality call too, Tim, because they had dumped out of that and no longer showing them pressure looks. They're trying to go fast.
Not much time. They go reverse. Spielman. And Michigan at home for it. And a flag is also down in the Nebraska backfield.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
1st and 20. Little wide receiver screen, and they're all over it. They know what's coming out of the Nebraska playbook now.
Nice call,
Tipped
but another
again.
tip.
Martinez, boy, that was a smart play. What an athletic play. Hutchison tips it, and Martinez knows he's going to pick it if he doesn't knock it down. The flag is down. He did catch it and then throw it down, and I think he didn't bat it. He caught it, and therein lies the reason, which could be a forward pass, a second forward pass.
For an intentional grounding on the play.
Right.
The quarterback who threw the ball caught it and was still in the air when he threw it forward. It's a legal play. Third down.
He was in the air.
You could question whether there was control or not, and I think that may be what this discussion is about.
I still think it points to the headiness of the quarterback to understand.
Yeah.
Correction. The second pass was a forward pass. There were 2 forward passes thrown during the down. The second pass is illegal. That pass was thrown in the end zone.
Safety. Yeah.
Safety.
I won't rack that one up to necessarily a mistake by the quarterback because the alternate could have been even worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice return off of the free kick. Lavert Hill with a 21-yard return. We've got a marker down at the 32-yard line of Michigan.
During the return, holding the 29 on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
On first down, they swing it out. Little bubble screen to Nico Collins. Spun out of bounds by Caleb Taylor, number 4, the freshman from Stone Mountain. 2nd and 5 from the 28. Look at that maneuver by Wilson. True, just spinning off hit after hit.
But when you're trying to turn around a program that has lost its muster, you want to protect all people involved because you know what it's going to be like. It's tough. Of the 22 coaches that are coaching their alma mater, he has the toughest job, in my opinion.
Quick timeout.
Charge timeout, Michigan.
True Wilson inside the 40 to the 39. And that pass is caught by McCune. Halftime may challenge Scott Frost's young career in ways that it hasn't been to this point as a head coach. Wilson barreling ahead for a couple, stopped by Hunus, number 3, the junior from Wichita, Kansas. A little answer here from Muhammad Berry as he spins Shea Patterson. There's True Wilson with a beautiful play. This kid, he's just fun to watch. In every aspect, he gives you more than 100%.
Well, True Wilson, spin. He is the truth. Let me tell you, he's athletic. He's tough and more physical than what you would imagine. He's wearing that number 13, but there's nothing unlucky about this young man.
Yeah, he's the Xbox on
that thumb, man.
X button on Xbox. Yeah.
He's the spinner.
See, that's I learned that from my daughters and from my young producer.
Nice.
All those things. Got to get the X spot on the Xbox. See,
Timmy, you're the best, man.
4 decades in this business. Nico on the receiving end, incomplete. Thomas came away with that recovery of the muffed punt earlier.
And, Tim, that's the difficult truth as we get the second half underway. These are young men who are defining themselves.
And Ambry Thomas will bring it back and runs into some trouble inside the 15-yard line where he's knocked down. Little pitch ahead to Grant Perry. Ahead for just a couple of yards. And it'll be second down. Omari Samuels stopped in his tracks that time. Carlos Davis with the big tackle. 3rd and 5. True Wilson is the setback out of the gun. Patterson shoots it up to Grant Perry, and the senior from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, with the first down. Michigan in games like this has been able to run and run well, but against the high caliber opponents, that has not been true. Trey Neal with the stop of Omari Samuels. Second down, a yard to go. Wow. Samuels.
I'm surprised they're not getting a clipping penalty.
Mohamed Berry with the tackle. Wilson.
That's good defense.
Yeah,
there.
stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Mohamed Berry, who has really had the best day of any Cornhusker. Oh, that one got away from Patterson. Was a little high, but I think he took his eyes off of the ball. He gets it to Grant Perry, so a decent ad-lib job to try to get somewhere close to the line of scrimmage. Peoples-Jones up at the top of your screen. Patterson just lets it go. He saw some heat coming off of the corner. Lindsey scampers out off the punt from Will Hart. We've got a penalty flag.
During the kick, holding number 23 on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down. Timeout.
Andrew Bunch, actually listed as a sophomore. He did play. He was actually the third-team quarterback a year ago.
He took a shot too, Tim.
Yes, he did. Rolling him out of the pocket, which is a wise choice given what's been happening today. It's there's Spielman being hammered by Khaleke Hudson. Caleb Lightbourne is going to need the whirlpool after this one. A lot of punts for Caleb today. One of the more active in college football. High and tight to Peoples-Jones. He's got incredible speed. And there it is. There it is. Nice. And there he goes. He will beat them to the pylon. Touchdown.
Once he catches this ball, it's really about getting wide and getting width to allow everybody that funnel effect to happen. If you're covering, you've got to go to the point where he is. But then as you move away from it, the spin move again to finish it off. I mean, you can see the bodies for Nebraska. Guys tiring out. Neil there near the end, one of the stalwarts on the back end, showing you he's still engaged. But, boy, they're bringing the hammer down in a big way.
Spielman will field this one off the bounce. J.D. Spielman takes the slant, moves ahead for 9 on the play.
This is just the defense that they play.
Yep.
And you run right in the teeth of it every single time. There's going to be bodies around Don Brown's defense. You know, Watson did a fantastic job there of filling and coming off the edge. Number 28 coming into your living room. That's form tackle. Shoulder to the left, around the waist of the arms and lift, and the put down.
The previous play is under further review.
I felt he did everything. He moved his head accordingly, and Jim Harbaugh without question, Jim Harbaugh.
Stoppage to examine number 10 from Nebraska.
Okay.
There's no foul on the play.
You're on the side of conservatism, and that will be tagged. Ozigbo is ahead for the first down for Nebraska.
The right guard move there. That's
yep.
Ball start. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Bo Wilson.
Yep.
This is the 29th game coached by Don Brown here at Michigan. And Spencer, if things hold true here, this will be the 10th time that he's held the opposing quarterback to under 100 yards passing. That is an incredible stat when you consider what he's done in what is supposed to be, by most pundit standards, a high-risk, high-reward defense.
Well, Timmy,
it's pretty consistent for all the risk-taking that allegedly this one high defense is about.
2 fouls on the play. Roughing the passer. Low hit on the quarterback on the defense.
to finish your thought, Timmy, you know, his defense.
Holding.
Spielman equals things out. Here's the roughing coming from Josh Ross.
Yeah, he put that, you're low, and then
yeah.
you put your head down. And again, that's not in danger of being a targeting, but one of the things they're looking for, the crown of the head going down.
Correction, both fouls were on the defense. Roughing the passer, defense. Holding, defense. The holding penalty be declined. The roughing the pass was accepted. 15 yards to the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, that makes a difference. So
yeah.
Bush and Ross both called, the middle linebacker and the Will linebacker. So the Mike and the Will both tagged, and Don is in disbelief. Looping it for Stanley Morgan. And he brought it down. There is a nice little toss out of the option, but look at the recovery by Bush.
Delvin Bush, a middle linebacker, man. He's not really a middle linebacker. He's about 220. But did you see the closing speed on this? Watch him go out here. The back is going to create an option environment, the little check step, and the deal on the perimeter. And then look at the closing speed. That's not supposed to happen, folks. That's a linebacker chasing down a running back.
And you can put him virtually at any spot, whether it's the Will or the Mike, and he'll be just as effective.
Wow.
And he runs right into Bush again. This time does Devon Ozigbo.
You know the guy that wanted that play.
That's Hutchinson, the freshman from Dearborn, Michigan. Ozigbo runs right into the teeth of the defense. Josh Ross, number 12, leading the charge. This field goal drive, 35 yards. Out of the hold of Isaac Armstrong, 98. The Cornhuskers get on the scoreboard. Ambry Thomas is going to let this one go through for the touchback. As Omari Samuels in the backfield with him. Wow. And he'll take it himself, and look out. Marker down. He will house it, but it's thrown in an area where holding could be called. We'll wait for it. 75 yards.
Holding. Offense number 80. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Right on, partner.
Well, you can see him. He's out here working on the perimeter. Again, he's got his hands inside, which is pretty good, but he just doesn't let him go. You know, the officials are looking for a couple of things. First of all, if your hands are on the outside and as the runner passes you, can the would-be tackler disengage? If he can't, he knows it's holding going on.
That's Christian Turner. Jake McCurry on the receiving end. It's his team, no question, but he loves and praises all the help that he gets. Omari Samuels. Nice crossing pattern to Oliver Martin. He's right next to me. Samuels stopped at the 40-yard line. Here goes McCaffrey again.
Wow. McCaffrey showing some of that family DNA with the physical finish. You don't think Harbaugh likes that? He loves his
He
quarterback
loves
putting his shoulder in there,
You
man.
bet
Most
he does.
coaches are shrinking when they see the quarterback take a shot or deliver one. Not Harbaugh. He's loving every bit of that. Watch McCaffrey. Oh, that shot. Ain't gonna pop to the head, too, the side of the helmet.
And you think about it, Spencer. There have been blue-chip quarterbacks signed all 4 years by Jim Harbaugh. Going back to Rudock, Wilton Spate, John O'Corn. We were in here for Brandon Peters a year ago. You think how much this offense has diversified since that game we saw with Minnesota here a year ago. It's just amazing. There's Turner again. Stopped this time at the 20-yard line. That pass is airmailed. No flag. Crowd wants one. Jake McCurry was the intended receiver in the third. Fade to the corner.
Nice.
There's Martin. Incomplete. A 38-yard try for Nordine. Looking for his second field goal of the day. Only the remarkable pedigree of talent throughout the years. Washington bouncing outside and hammered by Martellus. 2nd and 10. Greg Bell burrows under to about the 26-yard line. Nick Saban went 7-6 and lost at home to ULM his first year.
I remember. We were at another place working, but the bottom line is I think Scott Frost has a long view of things.
Yes, he does.
He's got a plan. He anticipates things. I bet in a private room without consequences, he would not tell you he expected to be winless at this point. However, he did understand the difficulty of the road, and he planned accordingly. So I think what you have is a competent coach, a coach who understands how to.
We visited him. He respects everything he's done as a college coach.
Yep.
Ronnie Bell will bring this one back. That's a face mask. I don't see a flag yet, though.
Wow.
He's up to the 20 if it's called.
Turn, personal foul, face mask, kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down. Timeout.
Alex Davis was the guilty party. Over the top, McCaffrey, a wide open Thomas. Pass was a little underthrown. Samuels remains the setback. McCaffrey's going to take a timeout.
Oh, nice separation.
Looping it, and there is Ronnie Bell. Ring up another, Michigan. Bunch lets that one fly incomplete over the outstretched arms of Greg Bell. 3rd down and 12. Pressure again. And you can see even now they're trying to protect Bunch as best they can. Lindsey taken out of
944 victories, Tim. Winning is in their DNA.
Bell lets this one roll down. Samuels. Ball's loose. And still loose. I believe Michigan may have gotten on top of it late. Great awareness by that offensive front that's been so dominant today. Backup groups are in there now. McCaffrey. That one was thrown like a dart and surprised Jills out of Thibodaux, Louisiana. They've backed it up with a couple of wins. Won a road victory, which hadn't happened in forever. Oliver Martin, the intended receiver there. Lamar Jackson giving chase.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson just squeezed that sideline and just took it away from him.
A lot of people looked at Michigan this year as a potential sort of Georgia of last year. That the potential was there. And I think in some measure after this beautiful punt by Hart.
Is that your pitching way? That's a nice pitching way,
yeah. But I think one of the gut check and a cerebral check as you see Bunch breaking free and running beautifully here out to the 27-yard line. Nice play action and movement there on the fake. To the credit, perhaps, of the officials, they're letting the clock tick. They're human, too. Ozigbo ahead for about a year or two. I like the fact that Bunch held on to this as long as he could, Spencer.
Yeah, he's reading it. You know, he's reading it, because that end is committing. That's what he's reading.
Yep.
And then he pulls it out eventually again. He gets around the end.
Hutchison had no chance. And by the way, we talked a little bit about Penn State last week, Spencer, as Hutchison makes that tackle. And the favorable schedule they have, a lot will depend on how they play against Ohio State.
Well, I think Michigan's future is really bright because they haven't even delved into probably 75% of what they can do in the throw game.
Yep. Ozigbo lost it. It's on the deck, and a marker's down as well.
Personal foul. Shot block. Offense, numbers 56 and 66. Half the distance from the previous spot. Repeat third down.
Ozigbo remains the setback, and Bunch steps up. Incomplete. Brandon Peters now is in the game at quarterback. Started here so often, and look at that run from Christian Turner. Just more of the same from Michigan. 19 yards for Turner.
There it again, another same guy.
Yep. Turner again carrying it. Looping it towards the corner, and that might have been picked. That's Deontay Williams that came away with it, but they're going to rule it incomplete. He was out of bounds.
After further review, the defender had firm possession of the ball and a knee down in the end zone, which results in an interception. First down.
Bunch with a pass, little curl to Lindsey. And Tyjon's got great speed if he can get away, but he is corralled. That's Jalen Kelly Powell, 16, that wraps him up.
You know, sitting here with 56 points on, they're still doing what they do. Look at the relative distance between these two guys. That's press coverage. And that's single high safety again, rolling to it. That's just the DNA of this defense. If you got Seabiscuit, you can't tell them not to run. That's what they do.
Yeah. There's a quick out. Goes right back to Missouri.
There'll be a flag on this one. Shot's been blown now, man.
That's going to be roughing the passer, no doubt about it. And you know what you're thinking if you're Don Brown. Please, no targeting between now and the end of the game.
With targeting.
Oh, boy.
Defense, number 7.
Wow.
15 yards from the end of the run.
Wow.
Automatic first down. The ruling of targeting is under further review.
Man, that could be 2 weeks in a row. No Khaleke Hudson in the first half. And at Northwestern, that is not good. He can't believe it.
After further review, the ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. By rule, number 7 is disqualified from the game.
He knew Khaleke knew better. Mazur. Mazur breaking tackles and is ridden down. Over the middle on the slant, touchdown. That's Lindsey, and a marker down.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 88. He was covered and went downfield for a pass. 5 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
First and goal from the 15. Pressure for Bunch.
Great footwork.
Yeah, good. He's resourceful, isn't he? Oh, that's going to be a flag.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Mazur in some trouble this time behind the line of scrimmage. And premature movement.
Offside. Defense, number 34. Jumped into neutral zone, forcing the offense to react. Half the distance, still second down.
they're probably going to run this out of the formation. You got to watch it.
Yep.
Option game.
Mazur, and that's a touchdown
Nice.
for Nebraska. Pickering with guys are upright and should be good to go next week. There's Christian Turner again taking it ahead. Turner again.
Coach Harbaugh still experimenting.
Christian Turner's getting a lot of carries and doing a lot with it. I mean, absolutely buried them after a little bit of success in the opening drive. Now, Don Brown said, you know, I'm not a genius, but if I've got one more for you to block than you have to block,
it's math.
We're going to do it, and then I'm going to tell my to diversify. The Michigan Wolverines move forward. Are 3-1. Nebraska falls to 0-3 for the first